And welcome back to the Mississippi Association of Coaches Clinic here. Johnny Mims, Executive Director, is with me. And Johnny, every year it's fun, and the older we get, the faster it kind of gets here in between each year. But this year's been a lot of fun, and I know you've been really excited to get it kicked off, and it's been a terrific time this year.
Brad, again, what can you say if you walk the halls of the Sheraton here and look at all of the coaches? It's a multi-sport clinic, so we've got coaches here from not only football, but basketball, baseball, you name it, they're here. But what a turnout for our coaches. We'll have somewhere between 2,800 and 3,000 coaches come through these halls in the next, day and a half. Just testimony to our coaches in Mississippi and what they do for our young kids.
Walking around as you did, as we look to our left here, there are vendors everywhere, and the staff here has been just terrific. I mean, as soon as I got here, they're like, what do you need? So I know you've really been appreciative of the staff here at the Sheraton and everybody here at the Refuge.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can you say about it? In fact, the mayor came out today, Kathy came out today and did a welcome to everybody before, Coach Golden spoke, and Flowwood, the Chamber Flowwood, they've all just opened their arms up, and they see what kind of people, what we bring to the community. We've got every hotel on Lakeland out here in Flowwood full. So if you're looking for a reservation, I think everything's full out this way.
Every year, this is kind of, for you, it's almost like you can breathe a little bit after it's over. But for coaches, this is the unofficial kickoff of high school football season. Workouts are already going on, but they really kick into gear after these coaches get back to their respective schools. What do you like about the clinic personally? I mean, obviously as an executive director, you got your hands in everything, but what do you like about it mostly?
Well, I just think it brings all of our coaches together, and you can go out in the lobby and you've got coaches sitting down talking to each other. They got a napkin in front of them. You see them drawing on a pen. Coaches go out and eat. They get to mingle with. And you're right. This is kind of their last hurrah. We actually have coaches, that are teachers, obviously. They're actually going to school next week, starting Tuesday and Wednesday. Some of our school districts start school next week. So, we've actually had to move our clinic up a week. It's really the first week after July 4th, and a little early for me, but I'm getting used to it. But, you got to make these adjustments to keep it rolling.
And it's not just you, obviously, here at the Mississippi Association of Coaches. You've got a terrific staff I have dealt with, and they have been incredible. I know you're very appreciative of your staff.
Yeah, we can't do it without the girls in the office. I mean, I may be steering the ship, but they're the ones driving it. I can tell you, they're making it happen. And there's so many moving parts. Not only with speakers, picking them up at airport, getting them to here. The audio visual at every room. We got all-star soccer last night. We got all-star volleyball game tonight. We had a packed house last night at a soccer game. We'll pack the gym tonight in a volleyball game. Everything that goes on, that makes this thing tick. It's amazing how it runs.
It's interesting, Johnny. I've had conversations with football coaches that have won multiple state championships. Just had a conversation with a softball coach that had won multiple state championships. And then you and I come across coaches throughout the season to where they don't even have winning seasons. But they're here learning, and the state championship coaches, they're just as hungry as the rest of them. That's always good to see how people can kind of feed into other coaches.
Oh, it's no doubt. And I say, we've got some of the best coaches in America right here that's never won a state championship. And it's not because they don't know their sport. They're down here still learning. They've just never been fortunate enough to win a state championship. But, they're great people. They're great ambassadors for the state. They know how to teach the young men and women to be adults when they come out of high school. I tell you, we're blessed. We're blessed. Happen to be on the board of the national, and we still have people that cannot believe the amount of turnout that we get at our Coaches Association. And you can even go and speak to some of these vendors that will be at Alabama's next week and Louisiana's too, and they'll tell you by far they're not even close to what we do.
I know there's always evaluations at the end of each convention to where you talk amongst you and your staff about how you can grow and some things that maybe you can alter and change and that sort of thing. I'd love to go back to maybe your first year as executive director, or maybe when you attended this event as a coach. What are some ways that things have evolved and have changed, and what are some things that you look back fondly on and think, we used to do it kind of this way, but man, we've really done it. You know what I mean? Just kind of go back to kind of your early days.
Brad, it's funny you said that. Our staff met this morning at 6:30 before we kicked it off, and we brought it up. I can remember 20 years ago, leading up to this clinic, we didn't have but about 1,500 members then. Now we're like close to 9,000. But we would be, we'd stay at the office till 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and we would have packets for everyone to come and pick up their actual, card to be able to get to the clinic and all the information. Now everything is online, everything's on your phone, everything's on the computer. All of our passes, are online. Now when they walk in, they scan them. We can, somebody, if an AD calls and wants to know if little Johnny went to a meeting, we can scan and see if he was there. Just so many up-to-date things. Everything is online now. You can go to, all of our paperwork is paperless now. We submit all of our forms online now. It's just tremendous. Now, was it an undertaking for me being a, quote, older guy? Sure it was. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if you're a coach at 40, 45 and younger, they handle these phones. They were born and raised with them, so that's what they have, and it's given us the opportunity to expand what we can offer because of the way we've got it set up now through the office.
One final question here with the executive director, Johnny Mims. And when you allow yourself, I had a chance to meet your lovely wife a moment ago, 47 years, I believe. That's incredible. When you guys are able to kind of exhale at the conclusion of this, what do you look back on, and what do you kind of look back on fondly of the year and kind of what you've been able to accomplish here at the association?
Brad, I would say it's the relationships. Yeah. I mean, I know coaches from all over the state, and I really feel like I could be going down a country road in some small town and have a blowout tire, and I probably could go on my app and find a coach within 15 minutes that I would know. So just the relationships that you build with all of the coaches and the gratitude it gives me to be able for me to sit there or watch these coaches take these players and make young men out of them. And I've even got coaches, I've been in it so long, that I can remember came through as all-stars that would have played, and now they're back coaching, their respective sport. They're back coaching in high school, and I can look at them and go, I remember when this guy was in high school. So that brings a lot of joy to me to watch that. We always hear about the bad things, but I'm here to promote the good things, the good things. And I tell my coach, these coaches spend more time with someone else's son or daughter than they do their own. And that takes a special person. They're definitely not in it for the money. And what they do on an everyday basis, picking them up, taking them to school, and sometimes even feeding them, getting them, helping them in the classroom, whether it be a tutor or whatever. I mean, I can go on and on about the things that they do off the field or off the court when a lot of people are only looking at the, quote, state championship coaches. So, that brings a lot of gratitude to us.
Johnny Mims, Executive Director here at the Mississippi Association of Coaches. And Johnny, couldn't thank you enough. It was a bit of blast partnering with you you and the committee and the association for the last couple of years. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for jumping on today.
Well, Brad, look, let me say thank you. I appreciate what you do to promote our Coaches Association. I promote our coaches in the state, and I take my hat off on what you do and what you do every day. I'm one of your followers, and again, thank you for what you do.
We'll talk with you later on here at the Mississippi Association of Coaches Convention. For Johnny Mims, I'm Brad Logan. Talk to you soon right here on the Talk of Champions.